can cut things up, move things around.
Play this for a minute, slowly bring this one in, and then turn this one down so you end off at the breakdown of this.
That in itself is, I think, enough to throw parties.
Most of the documentaries that we distribute or that are pitched to us, the versions that we see at first, the music that they want to put in those films.
It's called temp.
Absolutely.
Temp
and they clear the rights for the festivals, right? And you see it and you're like, oh man, that's amazing. And then you come back, nothing's cleared, because to clear those songs would be more than the entire film budget.
Everything, all directors feel the same way. They want the bigness of this music to help make their movie feel more comfortable. I call it the old comfortable shoe approach. You see a song in a movie that you love that song, you're predisposed to like that movie a little bit more because it's got that vibe for you. But the reality is when the rubber hits the road and you have to pay for stuff, it's very hard to do. So the first wave of it is called temp, where you temp the movie with whatever the director wants, to give a vibe of what he wants. And I'm actually working on a Latin Lionsgate film. They have a division called Pantaleon, which is telling Latin stories, where the director, his last films, he had started out with a small music budget, and the movie got bigger and bigger and bigger. In this sense, the director wants big. So I put in Rihanna, I put in Pitbull, I put in Eminem for temp, because I'm establishing a base, knowing that I'm never going to really probably afford those records. But the toughest part of the game is how do you find that great, cool, unfamiliar music to replace Pitbull, Eminem, Rihanna, and make the movie as good as with those cues. And that is the toughest part of the game.
Temp music is the bane of every composer's existence. Temp music is the worst, because the reason why is the filmmaker will fall in love with the temp music, and they actually want that music. And so to pry their hands slowly away from the temp music and to pour something else in, that can be a real struggle. Like the worst story probably in filmic history of that is the story of Alex Norris with Stanley Kubrick in 2001. Now most people, if you know 2001, it's Strauss, it's the Strauss Waltz. Very recognizable. Well, a lot of people don't know that there was an original score, fully orchestrated. This composer, Alex Norris, wrote a complete score for 2001. And you could actually get, so he went this whole thing, orchestrated the whole bit, conducted it, whatever, placed it in the movie. And Stanley Kubrick went back and put the Strauss in after all of that. And they invited Alex Norris to the premiere and didn't tell him that his music was removed. That's the worst.
How would you feel? As a music supervisor, working in a number of different films and working throughout a number of different subject matters, what you realize is that when you're approaching a composer to create original music, you want to give them a certain amount of freedom to do just that, create original music. And that's sometimes where I feel the real value of a music supervisor comes in, because the relationship, as John was saying, is of the supervisor to the director is to translate the director's vision into music. There's so many dynamics, so many relationships and licenses and budgets and things that are all up in the air that all need to come together on one page in order for one project to get to the market. And I just wanted to hear from each of you what the deliverables are as they relate to music when you actually finish your film, and what needs to be handed over in what format, and what the easiest way to do that is. Can we start with you, Vernon?
I'll do a mix of music, and I'll also provide stems, like that is elements of that can be remixed. So I provide a mix, I provide like context, like the cue with the dialogue, like a mix with the dialogue in the cue, the mix by itself, and the stems, so that they can, so the person that's mixing the film can mix it with this, because you got to sound effects, sound design, dialogue, you know, and all of that stuff that's also part of what the sound of the movie.
And that's another good point. Once we get to this point of the mixing stage, we have a supervising sound editor who is managing sound effects, dialogue, and music. And those three elements all come together to build up the sonic landscape of the project.
When you see a movie and everything you hear in the film is sound effect. Like they'll have a particular door, they have thousands of samples of doors, of different kinds of car doors to match with the car that's on the screen and so on and so forth.
Even though we're talking about music, this really comes down to the relationships and how you mesh with the team assembled. That's why you need another producer so that you're not directing and producing, because the producer is supposed to be the business person that is kind of giving that creative force, the director, that balance.
The relationship of the supervisor to the director is to translate the director's vision into music. But the relationship with the producer is actually to deliver on budget and on schedule.
Give me an extra crane shot, give me an extra day, give me a helicopter shot, or give me Aretha Franklin. It's all the same. You know, it's just it's the nature of the relationship between producers and directors, and supervisors get caught in that crossfire. And you know, we have to give them that dose of reality. That, you know what, Aretha Franklin and Aerosmith aren't clearing. But we can give you something else that sounds really good and conveys the period really well. They have to have realistic expectations about what we can afford and what we can do to make this movie all it can be. And at the end of the day, that has to, you know, be reality.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself, become a part of our community, and make music.